Well, another attritional day of Test cricket at Lords. Day three of that engrossing, enthralling Test match between India and England. It's been a roller coaster ride, really. India 364 all out in their first innings. England 391 all out in their first innings with a slender, slim lead of 27 runs. But look, there's plenty of story behind that lead. England were in a good position at one point in time. There was this partnership developing with Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow, but again, regular wickets from Mohammad Siraj, had who finished with 4 wickets, and then from Ishant Sharma, who finished with 3 wickets, and of course Mohammad Shami 2 wickets. That that sort of paved the way for a brilliant fight, brilliant contest between these two teams. Joe Root finishing unbeaten on 180. He was that lone man waging a battle for England. Of course, he got a lot of support from Johnny Bairstow, who scored 57. Josh Butler, Moeen Ali, all of them got runs, 23, 27. They did well enough to stick around with with Joe Root for a while, but it was really the England captain who was the show stealer once again. Half century in the first innings of the first Test match, 100 in the second innings, and then another 100. 180, unbeaten on 180. And then, of course, the wicket falling of the last ball of what turned out to be the last ball of the third day, and England taking that slender 27-run lead. Not a lot, you'd say not a lot, but it's been that kind of a battle. No team has really had that run away with that advantage yet. Of course, India had that upper hand at stumps on day one, 276 for three, but thereafter England struck back really hard, thanks to James Anderson, who finished with a 5-4. Olin Robinson, he also picked up a couple of wickets. And then India were in a spot of bother after losing KL Rahul and Ajinkya Rahane early on day two. But that partnership between Jadeja and Pant then bringing India on course for a competitive total. England again looking solid through patches. They lost 2 consecutive wickets last night, those of Dom Sibley and Hasib Hamid, thanks to Mohammad Siraj. But that partnership between Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow this morning, setting the tone for England. It was a very, very good first session for England. Wicketless, they added 97 runs in that duration before lunch. But thereafter, India really striking back, even as Joe Root waged a lone battle for England. 180 not out of 321 balls, 18 boundaries. The England captain is just in phenomenal touch. You go back right to that series against India in India. Joe Root scoring runs in the first Test match, which England won, and thereafter he's really been that fulcrum of that England batting lineup. We've spoken about the England batting lineup, how the form of a couple of players has been a worry. Of course, there's a bit of inexperience as well in that lineup, but Joe Root just holding his own against a terrific India pace attack. Of course, no wickets for Jasprit Bumrah, 26 overs, no wickets. Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, Ishant Sharma, the three bowlers to pick up those wickets for India. 4 for Siraj, 3 for Ishant. This is just absolutely brilliant. This was a brilliant, brilliant day of Test cricket again. All 3 days, in fact, at Lords. This is the makings of a classic. 2 more days to go. India will, of course, resume their second innings tomorrow. 364 India all out, England 391 all out, a lead of 27 runs. India would first want to wipe that lead out, take a lead, and then remains to be seen how many they set England and how this match really goes into the final day and what to expect. This is anything can happen. This is still anybody's game. England would be happy with the 27-run lead because it's been that kind of a contest, seesaw contest, very, very evenly poised, enthralling, absolutely attritional. So that's that. That's the summary. Again, something happened that came to our notice was KL Rahul. Apparently, somebody from the Lord's crowd threw a champagne cork at KL Rahul, and Virat Kohli immediately asked Rahul to throw it back into the crowd. That's Virat Kohli for you. And that's unfortunate if it happened, something like that happening at Lords. That was just unfortunate. KL Rahul, fine 100 in the first innings. One of the heroes of this Test match. I think both sides have had heroes. Joe Root, James Anderson for England. Of course, runs from Johnny Bairstow, then KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Siraj, Ishant Sharma. Ishant, remember, playing in the place of Shardul Thakur, who was injured, and he missed out on this Test match. Ishant Sharma was brought in as replacement for Shardul Thakur. A lot of heroes, and KL Rahul is one of those. It's just unfortunate that unfolded the way it did, but Hopefully things are under control, and that is absolutely that is the status of this match. England have a 391, 27-run lead, 391 in their first innings. It was again good sportsmanship from Siraj. He congratulated Joe Root. There was a standing ovation for the England captain as he walked off. It was just another massive, massive effort from the England captain. It was great to see that kind of competitive spirit between these two teams. Well, we'll just take a quick couple of comments and questions. Joe Root has played just amazingly, says Nairat Sarangi. Well played, England, absolutely. Nobonita Ghosh, I think 5419 in 5149 in India in favor because England has to bat on the fourth innings. If India manage 250, then I think we have a real chance. Absolutely, good point, Nomanita, because England still have to bat last on this pitch. They have to bat, chasing any type of total. Is a challenge in Test cricket, right? No matter how many you're chasing, and especially if you're chasing 230, 240, 250 in that vicinity, that is definitely a challenge. And India would hope to set a little more than that. 27-run lead. Again, it depends on how they come out to bat tomorrow. And India have some very aggressive batsmen in that lineup. KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, Ravindra Jadeja. We all know they can get quick runs. But what's also going to be important is for Pujara and Rahane to get back in form as well. You really want these two to get going. But this is going to be extremely exciting. You've seen over the years this Indian team plays for results, not just looking at draws. So you can expect some fireworks tomorrow with and depending on how many. And yes, I agree with Normani that 260, 270 in that vicinity. That is going to be quite a challenge. But again, how many will they pull up? How many will they put up tomorrow? How many sessions are England batting? How many sessions will Virat Kohli be comfortable giving his bowlers to take those 10 wickets? That is definitely going to be a deciding factor on how the Indians approach their second innings. Naira Sarangi, happy Independence Day, Rajashi. In advance, yes, we're just 33 minutes away from India's Independence Day, 15th of August. That'll be great to see some stellar performances from India's batsmen at Lords. For sure, this has been a very, very good third day of the Lords Test match. Hopefully, there'll be some more reasons to cheer for India on day four, on the penultimate day of this test match at Lords, the second test between England and India. Very, very interestingly, boys. Stay tuned. And please do download Sports Today. Please do subscribe to Sports Today. Stay tuned with us. We'll bring you plenty more through the course of this test match and, of course, the rest of the series as we build up to what looks like a phenomenal a phenomenal few weeks of riveting test cricket between two very, very good teams. Thank you so much. Have a very, very, very good night, and I'll see you, all of you, tomorrow with updates from day four of the last test match. Thank you. Have a good night.